Hello, this is Andrew West, and I'm your host on Space Discoveries 2, as we'll go into technology system to digital framing location positions, how I'm coming into a different platform. I've been extremely busy through connections of space. You understand what the mind is through collaboration centers. I set up so many plateau level connection systems. This is a mini TV series in 4 episodes, so I hope you guys enjoy it. It will be going on very shortly into an instant premiere, so I'm really excited to show you guys how we get into more of ourselves. This one is based on of the body and how it goes through activation, how you go through motivation cycles, how you go into calculation, how you go into traveling, how you go into E equals MC square, how you go into light activation, light systems, how you activate everything through your program setting, how you go into the digital frame of its core, of its Earth system, how we go into the simulation of its positions, and how we travel to higher vibrations through synchronizing planet locations. It's extremely powerful as we come into these times. So I'm going to be going through those levels right now. So there's a couple of glitches in episode 1, so that's all fixed. After this video, I will put it up, instant premiere. Tell everybody, tell all your friends, tell all your communities. It's really important to understand these things because there's a lot of videos that are put out there on YouTube and they just don't know the answers. I'm giving you the answers of what space is through operation system. I've set up almost 1,000 videos to show you what is going on with your planetos, what's going on with your activations, your lines, your brain waves, your patterns, your mind, your collaboration, your center, your creative centers, all connections to all frequency level system. But before I get started, I'm Andrew Weston, your host of Space Discoveries 2. That's the division level system I'm in through program setting. I've been so busy because I've just finished doing the 3rd episode. Now I'm doing the 4th episode, and I got to do the audio on top of that. So the first one, we're talking about more about pattern divisions, and how we're talking about line signaling and everything through lacing line locations, and how to travel through dimensions of vibrations, and how the birthing matrix comes into location of shapes, letters, and time zone, how to go through your flux capacitors, energy system, and everything. Capacitor, how you go through archetype locations. Now on my YouTube platform, okay, I've set up a promo, okay, for Space Discoveries 2. But as you notice, there's archetypes flying in the atmosphere. It's really powerful. You're going to get that in every video. You're going to see they're white, right? And they just zoom across because I'm in space. So I'm triangling on so many different position line communication signals that are going through traction locations. Now, I know half the team is in Mount Shasta. I've been just so busy with the mind system collaboration centers. I'm setting up new interstellar mode connections to proactive cycles and setting up new space station positions into the galaxy location positions. Your commander is extremely, extremely busy right now because he's got that Space Discoveries Part 2. Everything is done through that connectional system. And now we're coming into higher connections. I think basically when it comes to new viewers, they have to know the truth of what goes on in space and how to go through octaval levels of connections, how you go through triangle positions, how you travel through your chakra system. So this one in episode 1 is more kind of like looking into space, trying to understand what is going on with my mind, what's going on with my brain, what's going on with my thoughts, how do I travel my thoughts. I've done videos on that through illustration. So basically in episode 1, I'm not going to go into it fully, but I just want you to understand how powerful it is, what you can do through the mind and the brain, how it comes together through formation, through your chakra system, and everything that comes into formation, how to synchronize planets to different vibrations, and how you can bring the simulation of the Earth into a digital core, coming into the resistance to its phenomena. Okay, understand what's going on with planetation systems. I get so many sonar waving patterns of electronic interference from other higher planet positions, right? So you understand they're watching too, right? We're all connected to one unit, one system. Once you understand that through vibration, you understand your alignments of your thoughts, how they come into its formation system, okay? So I've been really, really busy. I apologize for the force team. I know you guys have there, like, platitude levels and Mount Shasta and all that condition. I'm there through energy. That's what it is. So basically, you'll feel the energy and know the energy. You'll see the energy, and you go through the adaptation cycles where right now there's so many levels that I'm going through 24/7 connections. I'm setting up new space stations on other positions. I'm going through triangle position level systems. I'm getting the connections of the Dals. I'm getting connections to the Greys. I'm getting connections to the Reptilian Alliance, the Drakios. They're setting up new map location positions. You understand that everything through the surface and its connection of light and dark interference sets up new map codes, right? So we're going through so many lines of communication when it comes to the economy. So destroying everything through the dark system, okay, is getting a lot more easier for me, but it's a lot more work, right? So same thing with my my videos in the Space Discoveries, the first one. It's like 2 hours, but it's only 4-minute video, between 3 to 4 minutes each one, right? But I'm only doing 4 because there's so much information. And the thing is too, I don't want you guys to go through the collaboration centers of confusion systems, right? Because you have to say, whoa, what's he doing now? I don't understand this, I don't understand that. So this is just more of a basic understanding what happens to you when you look in space for the very first time, when you understand your thoughts for the very first time, when you understand space for the very first time, when you understand your body for the very first time, when you understand your activations of your chakras for the very first time. So really get into positions. And in episode 1, you get a better understanding how to put yourself on all motivation systems through teleportation, the energy that you have to understand through your transmission systems. It's extremely powerful times as we're coming into these levels. Okay. So this is going to be a short video because I got to do audios on communication cycles, and I got to set up episode 4, right? So I want to get them out. So each week there's going to be a video that goes up. Okay. So I want you guys to get excited. You know, it's going to be exploring information, like it'll just blow your mind. And that's what you want to do to the viewer. You say, whoa, this is fantastic. So, and you learn from experience. You know, you think it's easy, but it's not. And that's the hardest thing. I mean, the program setting set up, but when you're doing scriptures, you're going into the commercial advertisement. So I had to set up scriptures, write it down, right, and then voice it out. Okay. So it's a lot of fun when you do it, because I'm an actor, right, as professional as can be. But when you set something up, you know, it takes time, right? It takes editing. Okay. It takes structures of time, it takes frame of time. It takes programs of time. It takes everything through, you know, directing of time, you know, acting of time. So it's really interesting how you see these things. But when you watch the first episode, you understand more of yourself. And it's a very, 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 very powerful energy. Okay, because it's activated. It's activated through me, and it activates going or beyond. It's going beyond the mind system. So it's going to come at you like all ways and form, not in 3D, but all ways in all dimensions, all forms. So the energy will go through your patterns. It will recognize everything through your DNA. Remember, anything live, anything connection, anything tape can be activated, right? It's opening up a portal, right? Setting up codes for each episode, right? And it's all connected through your healing. So you're saying, whoa, now I understand a little bit more about meditation. Now I understand more how to travel my thoughts. We put our provisions every single day, how we connect to these realms. Okay, you have to understand your corner system, okay? The cornerstones of you through connections, northwest, south, and east. You have to understand your travels. Your thought recognition travels to northwest, south, and east, to its different positions of planets and locations, right? But really understand where your thoughts are going, okay, is the right direction. Okay, so I don't want to spoil the episode. I don't want to get too much, but I'm really, really excited. It's exploring information. It's going to explode your mind when you see these things. The first episode is more based on the body. Okay, I did that in season 1 with Space Discoveries. But in this one, it's more about you're sleeping and you're getting connected to how you get into formations of meditation. So how do you meditate? A lot of people don't know how to meditate. What do I do? How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I open my chakras? Well, I give you a little bit more information on how to travel. And the travels are extremely real, okay? So it's going to go through synchronizing lines. It's going to go through brainwavy patterns, the energy waving. It's kind of like you're traveling with your position, with your commander, especially with my force team, because when they see the energy, they're going to be, whoa, this perception is flying through its recognition. And the editing form is fantastic. It's amazing how we set up, you know, a TV series. This is a mini TV series. It's season 1. I had 6 episodes. There's only 4 here, but it's combined with so much information. Okay, because I just want to blow your minds. You don't truly understand the operations of the universe through space and time, because it's important you guys get into these positions, right? And it all starts with your body activations through transformation. You go into infusions, you go into cycles, you go into activation systems, you go into chronological divisions, you go into eye receptor positions, you go into everything through frame. Okay, frame is everything through your digital. Digital is everything through the body. Body is everything through the thought, everything through light, coloration, and everything through its connection. Okay, so you're connecting with your mind, you're connecting with your brain, and you're connecting with your soul. Okay, so your soul has to identify everything, right?
Is there?
So, gonna get Siri. It's crazy how it travels, that position. So, I'll just get a little bit of rundown on what we did yesterday. We talked more about everything through the clockings of the equinox. All right, so we started off with this, new connections, right? And then we get into formations, how we come into the planet locations, into this, and what I did with the sun and everything through the moon and the earth. And it goes into the equinox connection. All right, and it goes into the forming system. Okay, into the moon clocking of its rainbow activation through its body system, the earth, the sun, and everything through the moon is interaction location. So the only thing now is for humanity to get a better understanding how to use their thoughts of travel. That's the positions you have to put yourself into that conditional system. All right. So as we get into line communications, okay, we got 4 waving cycles of lines. Now, Commander, why are you saying 4 waving cycles of lines? Well, you understand they're the same color, but they're different direction, different dimensions, different portals, and different codes. But it's the same color, right? Just because it's the same color doesn't mean it's the same intelligence. So that's then in the frame of where you're going through your perceptions of travel through your thoughts. So these are 4 wave line signals, okay? And they're all traveling in position of dimensions, right? So as soon as you add a point center, it changes its position. It changes its position. It changes its position. It changes its position, okay? So you have to understand that. And then you line communicate it through its connection, formulate its direction, right, to its signals. So you line communicate it down. This is down, right? This is connecting down. This is going up. Okay, this is going more up, and this is going down. Okay, you see, you're setting up a graph. You're setting up a pattern. So you're going through your synchronizing systems through your connections of your behavioral systems through your voice and your patterns. This sets up a graph position. Okay, so it kind of looks like a mountain if you look at it, right? But it's all connected to its framing system because it comes into its own projections, right? So it's the gamma operation centers that sets everything through your point forms and everything through your medium, everything through your high, and everything through your low. Okay, so you got 4 waving cycles of 4 line divisions that's going through a graphing system to your framings of its perception. Okay, so Joseph, how's it going? Going to your questions. I saw a ghost and beings who controlled my conscious mind. They were straight. Now you can help me. I hear voices even. Jeez. Yeah, that's pretty intense. Because you don't understand your mind collaboration centers, your heart is not open through portal activation. I'm doing a mini scan too, bioactive systems to your triangle positions, Joseph. So your connections and your dream set positions are cross-winning cycles into a realm location position. You have to go through my emails, okay, and go through constellation, and I'll go through bioscans. And then you go through my healing through my PayPal, okay? Once you go through that, now you're in balanced positions. So I'll take you out of the dark realm because you're in the matrix core, you're in a line signal through a wall connection. So you're on the other side of the spiritual system. So it's understanding that your mind can be in the spiritual system, but it's not sure about its realm through its reality division. Okay, so that's why you're seeing shadows and ghosts and everything through its connection. So you understand everything that's going on with its astray. Okay, but I can help you in all ways and forms. And if you're hearing voices, that's the spiritual system of the mind. The mind doesn't understand the body doesn't understand the soul. The soul is not identifying you into the physical system. The mind collaboration center is identifying you in space connection, but your heart isn't open through its connection or its receptor location. So you have to understand what's going on with your mind, body, and soul, Joseph. Okay, you have to go through my healing. Okay. All right. So as we get into the graphing system, as you get into positions, you can change the coloration system to this position, right? So you go from here, you go higher, or you can go lower. So it's all about creating patterns, and you go into the confusing line signals, right? But you're traveling to the right position, right? Through your frames. So you go into this position, and I'll lock and key its position right here. There's connection. Change its location. Go from here to here to here. Okay. So it's overlapping, but it's creating a pattern. So everything that you do through wire, okay, those little wires I'm talking about, line strip on a phone, whatever, you plug it in into the wall. It's a circuitry valve, and what it does is it goes to the interforcing connections through its connection, and it goes right to the simulation graph. The simulation graph sets up its patterns, right? So when it sets up its patterns, it sets up a letter, another, and shape, and then you take it as equation, and it sets the voice signal on your phone to the other phone, and that's how you get the codes. So the wire signal is reading the patterns through your atoms or anything through your molecular structure of travel. It's complicated stuff, but everything you set through connections, you could confuse a line signal through graphing to anything through an atom or anything through a molecule, through a line, lacing line, through 4 divisional levels of weather connection line systems. You can triangle point divisions to anything through its graphing system, to its connection. Okay? So as you put this all together, right, this will give you a better understanding. Okay, so you got 4-point division level systems that are connected to traveling positions. Start off with that. And once you connect it, it travels to its level of its connection. So it's setting waving patterns, right? 3 different line signals, 4 different realm locations. You see how it all connects? It's all one line signal all together. So when it's all confused, it looks like it's all 3, 4 different graphs of lines, but it isn't. Okay, it's 4 different intelligence through a line signal, but the graphing location is in the coloration through the line system, activates everything through the codes, and everything through the codes becomes letters, numbers, and shapes through its wire location. So a point division level systems to north, west, south, and east. Okay, north, east, with that connection here. East, west, and south. Okay. And so I do that. So it's in its graph, okay, and then you put it in its digital frame. Okay, it goes in this digital frame like this. Crosswinds its cycles. Okay, so the actual code is inside. It's like an abstract drawing, so it's trying to understand the graphing locations. When you understand that, it comes in out of its plasma location position. Triangle positions out of its equation, and it comes into a plasma wall interconnection. Right? So you're taking it out of its physical realm system. So that's what you see when you take it out of its equation, right? So you have to understand how to take these things out with the pattern locations. It line signals everything through triangle positions, change everything through its position, activates everything through the code system, puts everything back in the location. Right? So go into the black circle inside system. So you can overlap anything through position. Right? So let's say you get a planet position in this side location. There's a planet. Now the planet is going through communications, right? Opens up its cycle of its realm location. Okay. All right. Sets its signals and travels through its position. So it travels like this. Even if you overlap, it doesn't matter. But this is traveling signals to planet positions through vibrations to reaching higher vibration locations. Okay. And it goes into the plasma system and it creates its own code frequency to its connection. Okay, so it's creating a map all through its connection of this planet location through higher vibrations through its synchronizing system. And if you look up close, you can actually see everything, right? Codes, patterns, location, positions, right? It's really interesting how it travels through connection just through a planet. Again, it's all connected to its energy graph. Right through its digital frame. Okay, so it's really powerful when you do these things. Try to understand more of yourself through line signal. Okay, so you get a line signal like this, you get a line signal like this, you get a line signal like this, and you get a line signal like this. So again, I'm trying to understand you guys, because you understand what you're going through lines. Okay, this is down phrasing, this is up phrasing, this is extremely high, and this is all over to the side position. So you understand line signal, line signal, line signal, line signal. 4 different intelligences, because they're 4 different atmospheres, dimensions, the portals, right? Okay, it's not going to travel yet because it hasn't been activated. Okay. So understanding vibration, like this. Okay, understanding vibration, like this. Understanding circle rotation, like this. Okay, and understanding atom location positions. Okay, these are all the things you have to understand through wire signals, because it connects to all realms through codes. It connects in all ways and cycles through its position, right? So it's trying to understand the wires of each dimension through portals. Remember, these are all line signals, but when I see in the graphing of its simulation, it disappears in its travel location. If I bring this down, you see it disappear, right? So when it's about to travel, it's going to travel through the mind, and it's connected right to the thoughts of recognition. Okay, so when it travels through recognition, you see the time codes change through its direction of shapes and anomalies. Okay. Okay, it's about to travel, right? See the light? See how it comes in? You can actually see the graph too. You can actually see the map, right? So when you see it on the other side, the simulation, you actually see the pattern, right? Here you just see the shape. But here, when you're on the other side, you see the pattern. See, it looks like an island. If you look at it, it looks like an island. That's why it's so powerful. So when it's ready to travel in position, it disappears in its location. It's gone. Okay, it's not there. It disappears. See, it's not there. I created it, but it disappeared. So you understand what the mind is and where it goes, where it travels through the thoughts. Because you saw me create the illustration of line signals, all different weather patterns through connection, the singularity line division. So our telepathy system of our mind system has to understand the travel of our thoughts. And then it disappears into its location. It's not there. It's not there. You can't see it, right? Because it's high-rise. So you get a diamond core, okay, in position. You get another diamond core in position. You get another diamond core in position. You get another diamond core in position, like this, through calculation. Everything travels to its connection, right? So you have to understand everything through its point division location. Okay, it sets up all around location positions. Everything's in a graphing location position. See, it's about to travel, right? So it kind of looks like a crystal, another formation of a crystal. Remember, our spaceships and our connections to our XT1000 positions are made out of crystal. That's why it goes extremely fast. At altitudes levels to connections through atmospheres, right? It's really amazing how we travel through space of time through connections. Any force, anything, that level system goes into position like this, the calculation. So every time I draw a line, right, it's force rising and it's coming out of its equation, right? So when you take it out of its equation, it disappears into its position. But the center core position, you can activate anything through a circle round location like this. That's where it gets extremely complicated through the mind system. Okay, now it's gonna travel, right? And again, it creates a pattern. Remember, it's on the other side. Travels, right? It's traveling. Okay, it's only plasma. That's all plasma, right? So the more you realize when you travel, this is all you are. This is you traveling into space, right? Because you're creating patterns and dimensions and numbers and structures and buildings and anything connection to one system. So it's allocated positions. This is a round location of web graphing location of a circle rotation of a center point division into crystalline location of attraction to its diamond core location. That's what this is, right? So when you take that out of the equation, it travels to its recognition light system, to its position. Security line defense comes in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? See? It's going to disappear, right? Because it's traveling. See, it's almost traveling. See? So it all depends on the round location you put yourself in that connectional system. You go into the back sports level connections, and you go into this connection line system, right? security line defense. So if you travel into 12 position levels of dimension through portals through security line defense, you can travel back into a lower division, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can go from 12 to 7 because you have balanced location through its center position, through its molecular structure of its shapes and anomalies. Okay? See, it's getting more and more as it travels, right? Okay? So you can crosswind the cycle, right? You can go like this through connection. Right? So I changed the coloration system. Okay? Change the coloration system. Security line defense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And over here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6 here, 5 here. Right? It's pretty interesting what it is, right? But what is it? What is it? Right? So there's a lot of things that you can do to it. You can add anything through point center. You got the point centers, okay? 4 divisional levels, north, west, south, and east through its connection. Your travel position will exactly know what's going on with the shapes and anomalies through its connection, right? So you can put it in location like this through its position. And it created its anomaly through its connection. Okay, it's extremely complicated stuff. You don't know what it is, right? Until you're in space, right? It's engineering, yeah. It's gonna, then you create it over here. See, it's interesting when you see it because it's on the other side. This is the picture, but this is the illusion. That's the picture, right? Okay. So look at it. It's fascinating to look at it. It's extremely activated. It's extremely real. And all you do is expand and expand and expand and expand and create through your mind and what you're creating through shapes and realms and dimensions and wormholes and anything through that connection, right? So when you change color, it changes everything through its picture of its frame to its connection. So let's go into the back forcing connections to round locations like this. We start off with that connection, right? Remember, this is purple, but it's white. Purple, see? But as soon as I flash it to you in front of you through its connection, it changes to white, okay? It has to change because it's traveling to another dimension through another coloration, but it's going through a back force connection. So you understand the mixtures of going forward and the mixtures of going back. It changes the coloration. This is purple going forward, and this is white going back. So it's understanding the engineering through connection, through your lights of mixture locations, okay? So I don't know if anybody took chemistry, how you put 2 and 2 together, you mix your colors, and then poof, it explodes, right? It just explodes. So trying to understand everything through the mixtures, with H2O or anything like that connection. All right, so we can go into locations and we can set up a new round location to position. Security line defense, go into 4. We go into here, or we can even go to 2. Okay, wait a minute, Commander. You're saying there's a 2-dimension? Yeah, there is. They're all dimensions that are set. Once you understand your framing position, you can travel to any location to its dimension of its portal activation line system. And again, it's white. See, it's white, purple, white, purple, white. See, even the line signals, because it's overcrossing, it's confusing the line system, right? But once it travels to its position, okay, this is going forward, this is going back, okay? So it's really interesting how you do these things through angle point locations. Okay? But see, it's white, and then you bring it up close, you see it's purple. You bring it back, and it disappears. It's going, there you go. It travels through its recognition. Yes, chemistry. And again, you can change it again. Remember, you have to get into mixtures of colors. It's really important. So we can go into 4 different lacing line communications in the center position. You always have the center position if you're going to change coloration system, okay? It's the most important. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so there's 15 realms right there. 15 realms. Security line defense. Okay. Now, why is it not a different color? Because it's 4 round location positions in the center position, right? That's why it stays in its color. So it's in the matrix. So when it's in the matrix, it stays informed through color. But this stays white and this stays purple. See, it's different traveling. See how it goes? It's fascinating, isn't it? So understanding the retrospects and colorations and mixtures is really powerful. So we can go down to the locations, back in the framing positions. Everything shapes and anomalies go back in position and location. All right, it's back in position. All right, so we got 30 rotation centers, 30 security line defense. So I went over the circle rotation into the other side location. That's how you set all different location positions. So you can go over to the other side, guys. Jump frame. So you're overlapping line communications. But again, looks like a spaceship because it is. See, and it's gone. See how this stays, but the spaceship is gone? This stays because this is a space station. This goes because it's a UFO, right? So it's really fascinating how you go through the mind system. Allocates positions on all levels, that connection. So I can use laser direction positions and go into this connection. These modifications, sonar line communications. All right. And it's gone. See? Space station's here, right? But the UFO, the XT1000, is gone, right? See? Travels. Okay. So understanding what stands out more. What do you see more, right? You didn't know what this was. It's a space station, and then you have a UFO in the center position. You know it's going to travel through its recognition of time, right? So it's understanding how you connect. Like when you get in your car, you have your house behind you. So when your car leaves, it disappears, but your house is still there. Okay? So that's understanding the interdimensional system of you through travel, through its thoughts. Okay? So I think it's fascinating when you come up with illustrations like this in connection. All right? Travels out of its position. There, it's gone. See? Disappeared. But the space station is still there. So, in space discoveries too, you get a better understanding to travel. I get into more formations of how you connect through your molecular structures, through the atoms, and how it goes through synchronizing line systems. Your projections and that what you see through your connection is your frame. So you're going through your frames, you're going through your story of your frames, and you're just seeing everything through patterns, map locations to its position of planet positions. And it comes out of its equation. It disappears to its position, right? So you bring it up close, that's how we see everything right through the eye. But when you bring it back, it travels in position. So you have to understand how to travel your shapes and anomalies because you're connected to the mind system of space. You're connected to the chakra system through allocated positions when it comes to your colorations and vibrations. So, but it's incredible how we create things, right? I'm just back phrasing right here. I've done a lot of illustrations. I love doing drawings, and it's a good thing I can draw. Just the basic understanding of what you're seeing through location, through traveling positions. I just love it how it disappears. It's gone. Can't see it. It's gone, right? So it's illumination light sky that's connecting to the psychometric location to set the code frequency levels. The XT1000 is in the sun interfacing connections right now through its portal, right? So if I want it back in position, I just got to change the angle. Disappears. There it is. Bring it up close. Now it looks like a pattern. Right? It's traveling, right? Right. So it's kind of like looking at a cloud. When you look up at the sky, that's what the cloud looks like. You can just see the mirage of a cloud because it's just fumes and gases, guys. It's connected to the galaxies. Everything is connected to you inside. Okay? Connected to you inside through vibration, energy, and frequencies. And the harmonic resistance will give you L connections to your traveling positions of time because you're space locating to all. These are 30 dimensions, right? But I overlap the circle rotation, right? So this is the XT1000 laser direction sonified location to its space station. Bring it back and it disappears. It's gone out of its equation. It's traveled. So it's interesting that we come into these, eh? It's fascinating. So you guys have any questions on that? Yeah, it's extremely fascinating, isn't it? I just can't wait for you guys to watch season 2, episode 1. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. So when you watch it, everything I give you is sound waves. You're going to get exceptionally a lot of sound waves in the brainwaves. So your perceptions are going to open up more of your dimensions. And when you see everything in space, it's extremely real because you guys are in 90 atmosphere positions of planets. So your application levels in your brainwave and patterns is understanding more of its heart, of its travel, and your soul identifying what's going on with meditation of yourself. Okay? So, yeah. But Joseph, if you want to go through my healing, you have to go through my upgrades. It's the only way you can get rid of anything because people are coming into a lot of problems with themselves. You know, how they don't understand what's going on with the reality, how your body is changed in so many levels, how it's going through communication signals like confusing line systems, how your brainwave patterns is now in the crystalline of activation, how your body framing system is a new chakra system. So you have to be healed through me. Your commander can uprise your 12 chakras planet positions into your modulations. A simulation core. The simulation core is everything through the earth, right? So, and it's also, again, I describe in Space Discoveries 2 about the simulation earth and what it is, because we are in the simulation earth. Humanity has to get into the traction of telepathy, better communication with the earth. That's what we want. That's what we want. So you can understand more of yourself with communication of your thoughts, lights in your body, how to travel through the mind, and understand the soul identification of you through shapes or anything through illustration of its drawing positions. So, well, I'm glad it can make sense to you, Dina, because you're going to higher rise level connections now. And that's why it's making more, the conformity and everything through connection is basically getting into the waving of this, the waving of that, the understanding more of this, the understanding more of that. So that's what it is. It's all about you getting into your connections of yourself for the very first time. More understanding how to use the eyes and what the eyes can see. Understanding how to use the ears and what the ears can hear. And everything through your voice and grid, okay, is travel position through digital frame. So you're using your definitive breath into your affinity to your sacred. Okay, those are the application of elements that you have to reach before you get into your body framing system. But you have to understand meditation, mind over matter. Okay, the mind over matter. What is matter? Okay, so it's like the Christ and the Antichrist. So it's the yin and yang. Everything has to balance out. You understand light, you understand dark. Well, when you're in the thoughts of recognition through time, you have to extend space of time and travel of time. That's the position that you guys have to really understand to that connection. Okay. So I think that's pretty good. I'm really busy. I'm just going to get ready to do episode 4. I got to do the audio signals through my voicing grid patterns. But like I said, each week I will set up a video. I've done this video right now, so I'll set up the instant premiere. You guys can watch it. It will be up in between 5 and 10 minutes. So I hope you enjoy the video. Please feel free to comment below. Let me know what you think about it. This will help you out more through your travels of the mind, the body, and everything through the identifications of the soul. Okay? All right, so I love you guys very much. This is your Supreme AI Commander and all your Universal Core Systems, so all connection line systems. Oh yeah, Dina, don't forget to say hi for everybody in Mount Shasta. Adios!